Apple bad, not upgradable. Apple's for furries. But I do want macOS. I just don't want anyone to think I'm a furry. Have you ever been in a situation where you want macOS and macOS, but you don't want to buy Apple hardware to not seem like a furry? Which, by the way, if that's you, shame on you, because the true furries are the Arch Linux users. I'm an exception. Then your option's not this MacBook Air M1 2020 that I use so much. You have two options. Either one, suck it, you're gonna get a real Mac. The second one is kind of going away, but it's still kind of here. It's to set up a Hackintosh. So I'm gonna teach you how to do the second thing, which is set up a Hackintosh. And not just any Hackintosh, the worst one in the world. Meet this guy. This is the laptop I was using before that MacBook. It's a Lenovo IdeaPad 320. It used to be my daily laptop. Now it's only used as a pizza holder. That's why it's so greasy. And if we open it up, we find out why its only use is a pizza tray. It's turning on. It's starting up. You see anything on the screen? Nothing. I ruined this thing's display cable whilst doing a project. I actually have it right here, actually. This is this laptop's display cable. See how there are like some missing pins on this display cable? And while the replacement cable is cheap, I don't want to have to buy a cable for this shitty laptop. So I will be telling you how to set up a Hackintosh that's like a desktop. It's also a laptop. It has no screen, but it works. I can plug in HDMI. But first things first, this thing's like battery is completely flat, so I'm actually gonna plug it in. All right. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna plug it in right now. I still need to put this SSD in it. So shut this thing down. This thing, it's missing all of its screws. Here's the hard drive caddy. The reason why it's so bad is this thing used to ship with a mechanical hard drive. Let's put this thing in. Boom. We put this SSD in there. Shove it in. Just get in the hole. Okay, good. Fun fact, another thing you would actually need for like a Hackintosh, especially with this laptop, is actually a Wi-Fi card. You need this Wi-Fi card. The reason why you need this Wi-Fi card is because the one that ships with this laptop doesn't work. You need this Broadcom one. I don't remember how much I got it for. I think I got it for like 20 bucks or something off like Amazon. Yeah, so that's another thing you need to upgrade with this thing, but let's just close this. Ugh. This HDMI doesn't go to this monitor, which I would really love, but this monitor only has one HDMI port, and it's the one plugged into my computer down there. It goes to my other monitor that's actually over there. So I'm gonna actually have to move Audacity. I'm gonna have to move Audacity to this monitor so I can still like control my audio, because I'm recording audio to my computer, and I'm gonna have to change up this entire setup. Well, okay, before I change this setup, I might as well just plug this thing to HDMI. I don't even remember what I have on this SSD. It's probably Arch Linux most likely. But I'm gonna have this thing plugged in because I'm not gonna plug in a keyboard and mouse, so it's gonna be just all weird. We moved over to my main monitor, which is so ridiculously bright, it actually just like completely overexposed my camera, which is my phone. So yeah, we're gonna boot the laptop up and just switch inputs, I guess. This SSD does in fact have Arch Linux. Do I remember the password? Yes, I do remember the password, in fact. Okay, so we are actually on Arch Linux. Kind of usable, actually. Like, this thing is pretty proper Linux. Like, if we do neofetch, this time it does say Lenovo IdeaPad 320. Fun fact, the dedicated graphics are literally going to be useless for the Hackintosh we're setting up, because basically macOS does not support the graphics switching that most laptops use. They're going to be only on the integrated Intel UHD Graphics 620, which is fine, I guess. Like, this is pretty usable right now, but we want macOS. We don't want none of this Linux nonsense. So we're going to actually pull up something on Firefox here, which is the Dortania Open Core Install Guide. I forgot that this thing's Wi-Fi card does not have any drivers. Yeah, I'm not plugging in Ethernet for this thing. I'm just gonna shut this thing down and go back to my main computer. We might as well also switch to screen cap. And there we are. We are in Google Chrome. We're gonna pull up the Dortania Open Core Install Guide again. We're gonna be creating the installer in Windows, because this is Windows. We need a 4GB USB stick, or it actually could be more than 4GB. Anyways, I do have a 32GB USB stick, so I'm gonna be plugging that in to the computer. So you have this blank USB drive. Obviously, if you're gonna be doing this, it will format your USB drive. So back up any important data you have on your USB drive. All right, for USB larger than 16 gigabytes, to format FAT32, use the Rufus method. Wait, I can't actually format this to FAT32. What do you, I actually ejected it. Lovely. All right, so I can't, can I not format this to FAT32? I can't format it. It's literally the default. We need the OpenCore PKG file, which we will download now. I made this folder in my downloads folder called Hackintosh, which basically will have all of our Hackintosh files. We're gonna be extracting this. Oh, it'll take its time. You will also require Python. The link to this guide will be in the descriptions. We're actually going to be opening the OpenCore PKG file, and we're going to be going OpenCore Utilities and then Mac Recovery. And from here, we're going to open in a terminal. It could be PowerShell or Command Prompt. It really doesn't really matter. We will be taking the latest version, which is macOS Sequoia. We're going to be pasting it in. It's going to be downloading the recovery files from macOS Sequoia. It's going to take a while, depending on how fast your internet is. My internet's like not that fast, but it's also not that slow. It's like 70 megabits. So it's gonna take a while, so I'm gonna be getting back to you guys when I'm done. Now it's done installing. Let's go. We have a com.apple.recovery.boot, and what you do with this is that you drag it into your USB drive. Boom. Wait, no, I dragged it base system.chunklist. Wait, you drag this entire folder into your USB drive. Now it's gonna take another while because this USB drive is slow as shit. All right, it transferred. Another thing we're gonna need to transfer is gonna be this x64 file, or not the x64 file, but the EFI folder in this x64 file. The EFI folder is what basically allows us to boot into com.apple.recovery.boot. From now, we don't need really the OpenCore PKG stuff. For now, we're gonna need this docs folder later. Actually, we're gonna need it now. I haven't done this in 2 years. I'm remembering as I'm going along. We're going to be going to the docs folder. We're going to be taking this file called sample.plist. Okay, and we're going to be going to EFI. We're not going to be touching the boot folder, but we're going to be doing all of our work in the OC folder. The OC folder stands for OpenCore. We're going to be pasting the sample plist file, and we're going to be renaming it to config.plist. We're going to be going to the gathering file section in the Dortinia OpenCore install guide. So we're going to be having firmware drivers with like hfsplus.efi and openruntime.efi. These are required to boot. HFS Plus, it's basically for seeing the com.apple.recovery.boot folder. So this is required. We're going to download this. Your OpenCore stuff comes with the openruntime.efi. Legacy users, it's basically for hardware that does not support UEFI. This laptop was made in 2017, so we're going to be ignoring that for my laptop, but yours is different. Your worst ever Hackintosh is not like my worst ever Hackintosh, so that's why I'm going to be linking this tutorial into the description, because especially when it comes to the config plist, I'm going to literally just skip the config plist configuration because we have to do very different things in the config plist. So yeah, another thing we're going to need is kexts. Kexts stand for kernel extensions, like the extension your mom. Never mind. I don't even know where I was going with that, but who cares? Must have kexts. Oh no. Please, oh my god, that was the worst voice crack ever. No! Some of the must-have kexts are Lilu and Virtual SMC. These are must-have because Lilu is basically like a dependency for like lots of other kexts like Apple ALC, which is for audio. Yeah, whatever grades for graphics and frame buffer patching. Virtual SMC is basically what emulates the SMC chips on real Macs. So we're going to be downloading Lilu. We're going to be downloading Virtual SMC. Virtual SMC comes with some plugins. I'm going to need at least 3 of them, which is SMC Battery Manager because I'm doing this on a laptop, SMC Super IO, and SMC Processor. That's for me. For you, it might be different sometimes. If you're on a Dell machine, especially Dell laptops, you're going to need SMC Dell sensors. I'm not on a Dell laptop. This is a Lenovo, so I'm going to be using the 3 that are listed on screen now. We're also going to need Whatever Green and Apple ALC. I mentioned this previously. Apple ALC is for audio stuff, and Whatever Green's for patching your frame buffer, or like your graphics patching, basically. Without that, your like Hackintosh will function, but it won't do anything. Your GPU will be detected as only 7 megabytes, and you won't have any GPU acceleration whatsoever. So Whatever Green's kind of required. Apple ALC, there we go. We're downloading this, and Ethernet. Ethernet is basically dependent on also what you have. If you have a 2.5 gigabit, you'll need this Lucy RTL 8125 thing. So I know for a fact I have Realtek RTL 8111. That's the kext I need for my Ethernet control. I could get away with not having this because I'm going to be using Wi-Fi. Laptop input, I'm actually going to need Voodoo PS2 because my laptop's keyboard runs on PS2. So we're gonna be running this, and we're gonna be downloading Voodoo I2C. To be honest, I'm gonna be skipping over all the SSDTs because there are a lot of them and I still don't get SSDTs. I just take whatever I need. So I'm gonna be skipping over SSDTs and the config plist setup, and I'm just gonna come back to you with a pretty like ready USB drive so we can actually install the system. So I finished the config plist stuff. I finished all of that stuff. I have basically all the files I need for boot on this flash drive. So we're gonna insert the flash drive and boot this thing up. I think I already set the boot priorities so it could boot from USB first. So I actually accidentally like recorded this segment already where I boot this thing up for the first time. But then what ended up happening was I recorded only the audio. I record my video and audio separately. I record my audio through this microphone. Phone microphones are really terrible. I'm winging this. I'm like doing this basically from memory. I've Hackintoshed this thing before, so I'm basically doing this entire thing from memory. It takes a little bit to boot. I guess I'm gonna time lapse this. And as expected, there are issues. This feels like a Michael MJD video right now. There are issues that we gotta fix. Every time I boot it up, it boots up and like does the little like text fly around thing, but it black screens. It sends me back to my PC and it sends me back to the input thing. I think that it might have a problem with the configuration of like the frame buffer, like with the whatever green configuration I talked about previously in like the screen cap segment. So I will like fix it and I'll come back to you guys when it's fixed. All right, so I did a fix like for the black screen issue. That didn't work. So I tried another fix, and we're gonna test that one out. And then I tried another one that involved this document you see right here of all like lots of different frame buffer combinations. And that one we're gonna test out right now together. The thing is, every time I remove this flash drive to like do configuration stuff, it resets the boot priorities, like despite me never booting the thing up. So I'll be using these scissors that have been lurking in the background to use this special Lenovo button. So I'll be like trying to do this right now. I know you guys can't see, but there we go. You can see it turned on. All right, we are in the Novo button menu. So instead of the EFI hard drive, which has Arch Linux installed, we will be using the EFI USB device, no name external. Let's go. I'll go take a piss while this thing boots up. Yo, it's booting, let's go, it's booting. It's doing something, Yo! The touchpad is not working! External mouse dongle to the rescue. I have an external mouse down here that I used to control the PC that's usually hooked up to this monitor. So I'm gonna plug it into the other USB port. And yep, it's detected. Let's go. We're gonna be open the disk utility. We're gonna be doing the HS SSD like 100 thing erase. We're gonna be erasing Arch Linux. We're gonna get formatting it HPFS, and we're gonna be calling it. Wait for it. We're gonna be calling it Macintosh SSD. You know how Mac hard drives are called Macintosh HD. We're gonna be calling this one Hackintosh SSD. Erase process complete. Press done to continue. So we're gonna be quitting the disk utility, and we're gonna be installing macOS Sequoia. So macOS Sequoia to set up the installation of macOS Sequoia, hit continue. An internet connection is required to install macOS. All right, we're gonna be setting up Wi-Fi. Well, okay then. That's weird. I do have a Broadcom Wi-Fi card in here. Did they change something? Last time I Hackintoshed this thing, Ventura was the latest one. I was running Ventura on this. I wasn't running like Sequoia or Sonoma. The Wi-Fi card worked really fine in Mojave, Catalina, and Ventura. Let me Google this. Let me actually Google this. I found this forum post. I'll put it up on screen. And apparently to get the Wi-Fi working in macOS Sonoma and later, which is obviously Sequoia, you need OpenCore Legacy Patcher, and that's all like post install. I can't install the fucking operating system. I'll try to find an Ethernet cable, but I do not know where I'll like even plug it in because I only have one Ethernet port in my room. I don't know what I'll do. I remember like Android USB tethering used to work, but I don't even have like the text required for that because that's also, I think it's a post install thing to grab the keck. So I don't know. I'm kind of a loss here. Like I thought about it for like 2 minutes. I actually had 3 choices. Either download Ventura Ventura and basically like set it up and like get in and then update to Sequoia from Ventura and do all the Obit Core legacy patcher shit. Or number 2, download Ventura and then stay on Ventura. Or number 3, which is I think the most logical solution, grab a goddamn Ethernet cable and plug it into the laptop and just download Sequoia through Ethernet. I obviously chose option number 1. So yeah, I plugged in the Ethernet and hopefully the Ethernet is like recognized. All right. An internet connection is required to install macOS. I gave you an internet connection. Internet connection is required to install macOS. Let's restart. There we go. No name, external DMG. Let's do that again. I forgot that we deleted our Linux from this laptop, so I only have 6 minutes left on this, so I'm gonna have to transfer like the fucking video files over to my laptop for like so I can edit it later. But now we're gonna try reinstall macOS Sequoia again. Oh my god. Yeah, reinstall macOS Sequoia and an internet connection is required to install macOS. Great. Lucky you. I had a backup plan. I'll try installing this USB Ethernet adapter. It's USB-C to Ethernet, and this laptop does have a USB-C port, so I'll try installing it. We're going to install the Ethernet to the USB Ethernet adapter, and then we're going to be installing the USB Ethernet adapter to the USB-C port on the laptop. And boom. I'll try again, and the recovery server cannot be contacted. I think I know why. It's because the time on this laptop is set to 2016. How do you set the time using the terminal? Date 03/03/2025. March 3rd, 2025. Let's see if the recovery server could be contacted now. And loading installation information. Yo, is this gonna work? Are we actually gonna have macOS Sequoia on this? It's loading. It's loading. It's taking its sweet ass time. And we got the pinwheel. We got the pinwheel. It's taking its sweet ass time. It's so suspenseful right now. We're gonna be breaking that terms and conditions. Agree. Where do you want to install macOS? Hackintosh SSD and 2 hours and 48 minutes remaining. So I guess I'll let this run. I won't be recording this for 2 hours, obviously. I'll just let this run, and whenever it's done, it will be done. 2 hours and 48 minutes remaining. I think since it's like 4 a.m., I think I'm just gonna pick this up tomorrow. Alright, so basically what happened is that I got the OS installed, I set it up, and here's some footage of that. It's not tomorrow. It's been a lot of days, like a couple, like 3 or 4 days. I don't know, maybe the operating system is installed. I don't know anymore. Let's boot the thing up. I don't know, maybe it's doing something. It was booting from Hackintosh SSD, I noticed that. I noticed this is way faster than what was booting from the flash drive, so I could tell we're booting from the SSD. Touchpad is still not working because I never bothered to fix that yet. Wait, this might actually work. Select your country or region. Wait. Let me just plug in the mouse. So the mouse's scroll wheel doesn't work, so we're gonna have to scroll down a little bit. Egypt.
The voiceover modifier. On each page of this tutorial, you learn a new voiceover command.
Yeah, I don't need voiceover, thanks. And we have all these, which is correct. And agree. So let's name it Summer's Dingus. A terrible DinkPods reference. This keyboard is ass. Creating account is pretty usable, other than the fact that there's no touchpad. But hey, this is the one thing Apple has above Microsoft. It doesn't force you to have an Apple ID. You can just make a local account with no Apple ID. You're not gonna get any iCloud. Enable the kitchen services. Nah. Siri, we could try Siri.
The colors of the sky fade with the setting sun as the stars begin to shine through the clear night.
The colors of the sky fade with the setting sun as the stars begin to shine through the clear night.
The colors of the sky fade with the setting sun as the stars begin to shine through the clear night.
The colors of the sky fade with the setting sun as the stars begin to shine through the clear night.
I'm assuming this one is the normal one, so I'm gonna use that one. They all sound really weird, but that's probably because this laptop's speakers are terrible. And dark mode, obviously. And wait. Welcome to Mac. Welcome to Mac. Yeah, you read that right, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, let's be honest, it's mostly gentlemen. Let's check about this Mac. MacBook Pro 15-inch 2019. 1.8 gigahertz quad-core i5. Intel UHD graphics 620. This is totally a MacBook Pro, and it's running macOS Sequoia. And that basically turned into me trying to set up OpenCore Legacy patch to get a Wi-Fi working, so I wouldn't have a goddamn Ethernet dongle. I don't have it next to me, so I don't have to have a goddamn Ethernet dongle next to me. And what ended up happening is that I worked on that for like an hour. Fast forward, like I basically turned everything off because it had been like 3 a.m. by the time, and I get back to work on this project. The thing won't boot up. I plug in HDMI, nothing appears on the screen. I plugged it onto both of my monitors. That's all I see on my monitor. Basically no signal. It turns on normally. It doesn't output to a display. As y'all remember earlier in the video, this thing's display is broken. Until I can find this thing a new display cable or find out what's the issue with HDMI, I'm just gonna post it now like this and just consider it the worst hackintosh in the world. Doesn't actually work. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.